25 just joined in, welcome to Talented Tuesdays. About to get started right now. Just pulling it up on this phone. Cool, so we're getting ready to get started. Welcome everybody. This is Talented Tuesdays, and I'm your host, Kai Speaks, aka Mr. 205 to 305. We got my man Khalil in the building, who's just going to, I guess just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you ended up, or actually define what a creative means to you.
Oh man! All right,
and it could be anything.
Dang, we hard. We're starting off hard. My name is Khalil Bohannon. I am a musician. I play the drums, a little bit of piano. I'm a producer, engineer, and an event coordinator. I'm from Palm Beach. I lived there my whole life, born and raised, and I came to FIU. You know, upon graduating high school, and I got my degree in music business. So now I'm working as a music teacher at a couple of different locations, you know, doing the whole music event thing. I play in a few different bands, and it's chilling. Music is my life, bro. That's pretty much it. So I feel pretty blessed. Mm-hmm. What a creative is to me, if you have a craft that you own, that you're passionate about, and you do it every day, you know what I'm saying? It's all you think about. It's your driving force behind, you know, all your movements. Then you're truly a creative, because you just need passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. So you play the drums, right?
Yeah.
Do you also play other instruments as well?
I play the keys like decently, and I can play a little bit of guitar.
A little bit of guitar. Yeah, I think I did see a video you posted you playing the guitar too.
You got to, bro.
Yeah, I seen a whole lot of videos you playing the drums. That's how I definitely need to bring that up. So, how early did you start playing the drums?
I started playing the drums when I was like 9 years old. You ever seen the movie Drumline when they came?
That was the reason why I started playing the drums. I just played a little bit of the snare and everything like that.
But I sort of got that movie got every person like in the millennial age bracket to start playing drums. That shit was crazy. Yeah. But it was a vibe. I went home. I started banging on everything with pencils. My parents might as well get them drum lessons. One thing led to another. So
yeah. Now, so can you read sheet music? Because that was my dilemma. I don't know how to read sheet music. So I was like the definition of what Nick Cannon was.
Oh yeah.
Because I wanted to play the drums, and I just learned off of sound, and then I joined the percussion unit at my middle school. Yeah. And my percussion teacher was like a stickler for learning how to read the sheet. He wanted you, and I just faked it until high school. I just I was like, it really ain't for me. I still played it. Well, I don't play it anymore, but in high school I still had my bass drum that I kept on my mom's garage that I would sneak out and just play it every once in a while.
That's what's up.
To the neighbors, started complaining and stuff. So, that was my story with the drum background. But of course, for you, it takes a passion to really keep going with it. And for you,
especially to learn how to read music. Exactly. For anybody wanting to try to play an instrument, reading music is trash. I'm gonna tell you right now. The whole process of learning it sucks. There's really nothing fun about it. But once you get it down, the payoff is real. It's 110% worth it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that learning curve.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's that. I think that might be the determining factor that decides whether you want to take music seriously or you just kind of fall off of it. I think that reading music, if you can't read music, you're hey, it ain't for me. For real. So I do see a few more people just tuned in. Shout out Green Mile 717 in my little page. I guess it's a good time to mention, if you're tuned in, feel free to ask questions. Anything you think I might be missing. Shout out Nad Pitt.
Nad Pitt's in?
Yeah, Nad Pitt.
Yo, that's my dog.
It's funny because I was already in the works, so trying to get you a part of the show, and I had Nad on the show last week.
Oh, get out!
Talking about the flex band and everything like that.
Man, I can't be on the same show as Nad. I'm out. You fucked up my game, Nad.
So drums was the first instrument you started playing?
Yeah, yeah. That's the only instrument I played forever. I didn't start messing with piano till college.
And that was just because of your passion for music. You wanted to try other things.
No, that's because if you're a music major, you have to take class piano. That's a requirement. If piano isn't your first instrument, it's say you play clarinet, play drums, you play the harp, whatever the fuck, you have to take class piano to get a better overall understanding of music theory. You know what I'm saying? And arrangement and just how music works as a whole. Okay. So through that, I learned a little bit of theory, how to play chords and scales and all that stuff. And then I would just teach myself stuff that I wanted to know. I would look up how to play Hotline Bling on piano, sauce up the ladies and shit. It's R&B tunes, bro. Because once you learn the basics, it's like this is that, and start teaching myself shit. So
I feel you. So what made you want to go to school for music? I know because even though music's a passion, a lot of people have different passions, but they don't necessarily go to school for it. Yeah. What made you want to go to school for music?
There's nothing else that I like doing more. Like I did marching band in high school, and that shit was so much fun. Like I felt like that lived up to my drumline experience. Like when I saw Nick Cannon doing all that crazy shit, I did that in high school, and I loved it. So I was like, I think I want to do this for the rest of my life. So.
Okay. So you said music is what I'm going to school for. Did you get a lot of like a lot of pushback from like your parents or like people? No.
I have like the world's most supportive parents.
That's what's up.
Like if I tell them I want to start selling drugs, it'd be like, how much you need to re-up? How much to re-up for the queue? Like we got you. Like
I don't know if they're gonna want you to say all that.
How much for the zip? Now my mom might be down. My dad would be like, I was working at McDonald's or some shit. But yeah, my parents will support me or whatever. I got mad lucky.
That's what's up because, you know, a lot of people have a lot of pushback from their parents when it comes down to like doing things like that, taking like music. That's not going to bring that's not going to support a family. Why would you go to school to do all that? You know, that's a story for a lot of people.
It's all about your outlook, realistically, because if you look at it ratio wise, like, yeah, like the amount of people who are in music versus the amount of people who are eating off of music, there's not a whole lot of profit. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the people who are actually eating off of it versus the people who are not, what are they doing differently? It's a strategy. Yeah. You look at who's up at the top. Well, what are they doing that everybody else isn't doing? And if you really look at all the details and look through the lines, you can make it in this industry. You just got to work hard. It's not going to happen overnight.
Definitely.
You know, it's not going to happen after one mixtape, after one rehearsal. Like it's.
But there's also a lot of people eating off of music who didn't go to school at all.
Yeah.
So like, would you say that that's like another reason why people try to persuade others from like, you know, going into music as like a actual major?
I mean, no, just because they didn't go to school doesn't mean they don't work hard. Right. That doesn't mean they don't study. Right. You don't need school to do anything. You don't need college for anything. It's just nice to have. It gives you leverage. But there's plenty of successful people that never went to college. It's just if you make it through college, you're a harder worker than a lot of other people who didn't. But that doesn't mean you're a harder worker than everybody. There's plenty of people who never went to college who work harder than 90% of the people in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of your circumstance, however hard you're willing to grind for it.
Word. So Nad does have a question for you already.
What you want, Nad?
He's starting out good. He said, can't wait to catch this on YouTube.
First of all, for this shit.
And that your bassist should be interviewed next. Okay. But then he asked, when is the Flex tour happening? So you got a tour that's coming up?
Oh, that's in the works, bro. Nah, it's not giving away all my secrets, man. So yeah, right now the Flex. For those who don't know, I got this thing called the Flex Music Competition. It's a music competition, and right now it's local. It's at the Open Stage Club in Coral Gables. You know what I'm saying? And we've done 2 seasons, a total of 8 shows. And what it is, people compete for recording sessions and music video shoots. Those have been the 2 prizes over the course of the first 2 seasons. And the idea is to turn that into a festival and have it also be a traveling festival. You know what I'm saying? So we go to city, not only showcasing artists that have already won from Miami, so you know the rest of the country can get a taste of what Miami has to offer, but also drafting artists from that particular city and having them battle it out and come to our Flex competition, compete, and then we'll give them like a prize on the road.
Kind of like a battle of the bands type of thing.
Yeah, but no bands. Well, it could be bands, but like it's open to all types of artists, bands, rappers, singers. So
just putting it in layman's terms for other people who might be familiar with what battle of the bands.
Yeah. Precisely.
So tell us a little bit about you told us what the Flex is. You also have a Flex band. I know a couple of our viewers who were tuned in last week might have heard Nat talk about the Flex band Miami. So are you also an instrumentalist in the Flex band?
Yeah, I play the drums in the band.
Okay.
And what Nat said, we need to interview the bassist?
Yeah.
You're talking about interviewing Jared, probably, the crazy white boy with the long hair.
So you have multiple bassists, I'm assuming?
Every show that I've done with the Flex, I have my boy Matt. But for this past open mic event that I did, and for the event that we did with Nat Pitt, we used my boy Jared, who's a sick, crazy bassist. He does a lot of heavy metal, so he's very impactful with the sound, very large sound. We should interview him. He's funny as hell. The dude's crazy.
Yeah. I need that IG tag so I can reach out to him.
Yeah, I'll get it to you
for sure.
Joey Booty.
All right, bet. So
there you go, Jared.
Jewy Booty. So Jewy Booty might be up here next. So tell us a little bit about how did the Flex band get started? from like, was that always in the works? You know, did it start after you graduated? Did it start while you still at FIU?
Well, I mean, I started the Flex while I was still at FIU. I was a senior at FIU when I did the first event, and that was an open mic. I did 3 open mic shows, and then we did the whole competition series for 8 shows, and now we started up the open mic again. But it's just like to hold time over in between seasons. Competition is about to start up again in January. But to answer your band question, the very first Flex we did was my boy Jeff on bass, Wise Guy Jeff, and my other boy Richie on guitar. 2 shows after that, we drafted another friend of mine, Thomas. He was a student from School of Music at FIU. He plays piano, guitar. He's disgusting. And then another friend of ours named Matthew. He plays keys and bass and flute and sax and literally every instrument that you could think of. He's disgusting. So it was me, Matthew, and Thomas for the longest time. And that was the Flex band. And then whenever we do shows, we'll take Richie in. Add Richie. He was the initial guitarist. Okay. You know, it's kind of interchangeable, but it's also our friend Keanu. He plays saxophone amazingly. So it's a group. It's a pool of like 4 to 5, 6 musicians that will just sub in and out from show to show. Okay. And then, has there ever been a moment where you use all 5 musicians? No. Anything's possible. Anything's possible, right? One of these days it might happen. Stay tuned. You know so. What was the motive to starting the competition, the open mic? You know, you being a senior, and I know you love music, as you mentioned. Like, what was the driving force to, you want to become an event planner and throw that into it and actually organize an open mic, or not an open mic, an open stage? I'd always known I wanted to have something to do with events. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I used to play. I was the house drummer for this band. Oh my bad. I was the house drummer for an event known as the Imperial, and it was an open mic up in North Miami, and it was a really dope vibe, bro. It was a really cool open mic in its heyday, but I joined, and like a couple months after it shut down. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't have the funds or whatever happened. I don't really remember, but I was like, damn, I want to keep doing this open mic thing, so why stop? So I was like, let me just do my own, and I was tired of driving to North Miami. I wanted something in my backyard for me and other FIU students to enjoy. So. I started some shit over here. You ever been to Panther Boulevard Cafe? I haven't. Where is it? Where is it located? It's a really average restaurant. It's in between 109 Towers and 4th Street Commons. Okay. But if you don't go to FIU, those are like 2 off-campus dorms that a lot of FIU students stay in, 4th Street Commons and 109 Towers. First ever event I did was at Panther Boulevard Cafe at this little restaurant in the parking lot outside. Oh, in the parking lot? It was trash. I'm about to ask, how did you? They didn't have any problem with you, doing an event in their parking lot. We asked them. Oh, you asked them? It was like a registered, like booked. Oh, okay. They just didn't have the space. The parking lot was just there. That was the space that they had allocated as the event space. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. It wasn't the highest quality deal. But we had a budget. We had some loudspeakers. We had my boy TC on the 1s and 2s DJing. A little 3-piece live band. It was a vibe. It was intimate. But it was definitely like a starting point. Like I wasn't satisfied with it. I thought it went terribly, but that was just me being hard on myself. Like, right, of course. It was cool. It was something to do, but it motivated me to try and make it bigger, and better. And the following show, we had like 60 people. First show was like 30. Oh, I'm about to ask that next. Like, how many did you have in attendance? First show was like 30 people. Most of them were just close friends of mine, friends that they brought. Half the people were like artists that were like performing, spoken word people, and it was very, very chill. And the following show, we had like 60, 70 people, but it was at this place called the Hookah Inn. That's across the street from FIU. For the second one? Yeah, it's a hookah lounge. Oh, I forget what it was called. But that one was actually good. It's air conditioned, good sound system. You need that AC in Miami. Yeah. People was like buzzing off the hookah, so I didn't hear how bad all the music was. So it was all distracted. And then beyond that, 3 shows into the open mic, we were still at the hookah lounge. I was like, I want to change it up. We got to do a music competition, I want to do something that I hadn't seen done before yet locally. So I brought it up to some of the people who was helping me doing the show. Like, what do you think if we changed to a competition? They were down. So I just did it, and I got a panel of judges. I was interning at a studio at the time called Audio Vision. I got some staff from the studio to perform as judges. And the prize for the first season is a free recording studio session. And distribution of that recording session on all music platforms. So basically, you get to come to the studio where I was interning. You get a free song, you get it distributed on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, and you're the man. And it's dope because recording sessions cost like $300.
Yeah,
in a studio like that. You know what I'm saying?
And then what does an artist have to go through to get a song on Apple Music?
You have to publish it first, which means you gotta. It's a whole thing. Yeah. I'll try to make this quick as possible. Right. If you want to get your song out there into the public, you have to record it, mix it, master it. That's all done in the studio.
Right.
You go online and you publish it. You do that either with BMI or with ASCAP, and that is called a performance rights organization. They allow you to get money off of the song that you make. All right. When you publish it, it says this is my song. I own the rights to it. Nobody else can take it. All right. Cool. After you publish it, by then you can either get a publisher, you can get them to do it online. You got to distribute it, and there's a couple more like baby steps inside of publishing, but it's not that important right now. Distribution, you could either go with TuneCore, CD Baby. The company that we were doing it with was On Mars Digital, and that's a distribution company run by the studio. So once you distribute it, you just got to pay them like a $10, $20 fee, and they can put your music on any platform. It's available. People can get it.
Just like that. You make it sound like it's so easy, but I'm pretty sure it's a very precise process, a very tedious process. That's
but I mean, I was a music business major, so like I could summarize it. But yeah, there's royalties involved. You have to write off who's credited on the song, who's the producer, who's the songwriter, who's the mixing engineer, who's the mastering engineer, where was it recorded, like the date. You could copyright it if you want. It's optional. It helps to copyright it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you're a working artist, you got to do your research. Because if you think you're just going to record your mixtape and put it on SoundCloud and you're going to make it, like, you're delusional. You're like borderline crazy. And everybody thinks like, that's enough.
You can I'm going to just drop some songs and just hope for one to blow up. And sometimes it works like that. But like you said, you definitely got to do some research. You got to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and everything like that. It's a lot of trial and error, to say the least. So from the moment that you decide to, organize your first open stage, to the moment that it was a live event, people were starting to show up, what are some of the things that you think you could have done differently? Or what are some things that really worked out in your favor?
I can answer both. Like, marketing is everything in this industry, in the entertainment industry, and my marketing skills were terrible. I would text my close friends, and I would be like, all right, hope this works out. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, at first, the Flex didn't have an Instagram page. I had to develop that, which I would have had that from the very jump.
Right.
You have to incentivize people to invite other people. So if you invite your friends, be like, yo, if you can bring 3 people with you, I can let you in free. It's marketing tactics like that. Yeah. Or, come to 2 shows in a row, you get a free drink. Just what's making people come back besides the music? Why do I want to be here right now? My bad. Yeah, allergies and shit.
Yeah, I get it. There's something in the air going on.
Yeah, bro, the season's changing. Fuck about that. Oh. But things that went well, being open with communications. If you're trying to do an event, you need to always be very clear about what's happening with everybody. Don't assume somebody knows what's going on. That's the worst thing. You have people not show up. People show up at the wrong time. People doing the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you might. It just really depends. Don't leave anything to chance. And don't leave anything up in the air. Don't assume, they probably just know. Nobody just knows. Everybody is stupid. Everybody smokes weed. Everybody just thinks prioritizes their own shit. They're like, oh, no, it'll just work out. No, niggas, how it's going to work out. There's clear set directions and rules as to how you want your shit run. And unless you want your event looking like a crazy madhouse, like you need to know from start to end what is going to be happening. This is going to take this long. Intermission is going to happen here. Like, it's a science. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it takes a lot of trial and error, and just figuring shit out and just doing it. Like, planning is half the battle. But going out and experiencing it and failing, that's the other half. Because that's just as important as planning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We had a saying where I work, we say, don't expect what you don't inspect. And that's basically going into what you're saying. You can't expect shit just going to get done magically.
That's true.
You got to go out there and double check behind people. After you dot your I's, cross your T's, you got to go back and make sure whoever was supposed to dot the I, dotted the I, whoever was supposed to cross the T, crossed the T. Exactly. Like that. So you definitely got to double check behind people, stay on top of things. And I guess as the event organizer, you also have to learn how to delegate properly too, because you can't do everything by yourself. So, what's a good method that you use to, delegate tasks to different people and stuff like that?
Well, first of all, if you're trying to start some shit, like don't go out asking for favors. You either gotta pay people or you gotta work with people who believe in you. And my team right now is mostly comprised of people who believe in me and they just willing to do stuff for free because they peep the vision, they peep the grind. And once you find those people who are willing just to work with you, figure out what they're good at. You know what I'm saying? Just ask them, yo, do this, do this, do this, do this. Give them a couple small tasks. They're gonna do some things well, they're gonna do some things poorly. And talk to them, communicate, how'd you feel about this? Did you like doing this? Okay, we'll try this next time. And then they get their role solidified. You know, they'll show you what they like doing through them doing it. I had this, my creative director, her name is Raquel Ramirez. I love her. Raquel, is my business partner. She started out as my host. Okay. She hated hosting, but I still made her do it because I needed a host at the time. We found a new host who's amazing. Her name is A. Smitty. Smitty Liddy and every biddy bringing 305 to your city. That's her catchphrase. That's her catchphrase. She gonna see this. She gonna laugh. I gotta send it to her probably. Whatever. She's a new host. She's great. Raquel is now the creative director. She's killing it because she books us with bands. She comes up with ideas, create a different atmosphere for the shows. You know what I'm saying? How to keep guests coming back. How to keep them intrigued. So you know, through trial and error, she figured out what she was best at and where she belongs on the team. So
definitely, that sounds like a so. What for you? Because I know you take a lot of things. You know, you're a little hard on yourself, is what it sounds like, especially for your first event. What would you say your first event that went totally as planned and was like this is exactly what you're looking for? What was that event and like how did you feel during that or after that?
Okay. So every Flex music season, a season is broken up into 4 shows, right?
4 shows. At the same location?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the first season, it was at 3 different locations.
All right.
I was trying to figure my shit out.
Yeah.
Second season, it was all at the same location.
Okay.
So for the first 3 shows, you have this preliminary round. So you bring in like 8, 9 different artists and they all compete. From that first show, you're going to pick 3 artists. You're going on to the final round. From the second show, pick 3 more artists. You're going on to the final round. Congratulations. Third show, pick 3 more artists. Final round. Now, from those first 3 rounds of shows that all had a total of like 20 different artists, we now have like 8, you know what I'm saying, or 9 or something. We started off with like 30 different artists probably. We cut it down. Now, those people who've all been selected as finalists, they're in the final round. They got to come back and they got to compete again to be crowned the Flex champion. So you're competing twice, you know what I'm saying, to win a whole season. So when you come back, you're hungry. So when you come back to compete again, that's called the Flex Championship. The first championship of the first season was amazing. All right, and every show before that, I felt like something could have been improved. Like, oh, the lighting was bad, the sound was bad, the performers weren't that good. But after I did the first 3 shows of the first season, and we had that championship following those first 3 shows, that championship was lit. The crowd was pumped. All the performers did amazing because they're all finalists. So you know they're all high energy, top notch performers. Right. There's no scrubs in the final round. So plus by that point we had developed a rhythm. Like we've been people, like, you know, what was working and what wasn't working. So we were able to figure out like and pinpoint what we need to make a show run as smoothly as possible. So yeah, to answer your question, first season championship.
First season championship was when like this is it. This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I can pull up a video eventually, or maybe like
definitely. And if you don't mind, you can send it to me. I can like include it at the end of the podcast for the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tight.
Cool. So after that, you started to, like you said, you got your shit together. You found a venue that worked, and that's where you started to have consecutive events at that one venue. How did you go about securing that venue, and you know, how did it work out?
Well, I had actually been to that venue for an event. My homegirl Patty, she worked for like Globe Med. That's like a club at FIU. They do global stuff. They help people. I'm not sure. It's great. Check it out, Globe Med. They had a fundraiser there, and I was like, yo, how'd you get this spot? It's dope. Beautiful stage, great lighting. They got some seats to the side of the stage, perfect for the judges. Spacious, smells good. They got food and alcohol. I was like, yo, okay, this place is heaven sent. She just told me she just talked to the owner. I talked to the owner. I got an agreement, and I didn't have to pay for anything. So it was dope. How it works is when you're booking a venue, you're either going to split the door, like give half your ticket sales to the venue, you keep the other half. You're either going to do a venue buyout fee, which is like a flat rate. Like, I'm going to give you $1,000 and I keep the venue for the night. last option, you could do something called a guarantee. That's what I did. So basically, they give you the venue for free under the condition that the bar makes however much in food and drink sales. So they say, yo, you can have this venue for free so long as the bar makes $1,000 in food and drink sales. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, that seems very doable. First show, they made like 200. So I owed the venue hella money. You know what I'm saying? I was like freaking the fuck out. So it's kind of scary as a young business owner, like owning a bunch of money to a venue because you don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. But you know, eventually you did the next show, and they made way more money than they had anticipated. So that kind of canceled out. I got lucky with that. Mm-hmm. But what was the question?
So how did you secure the venue that ended up being like permanent venue?
They didn't charge me. I was able to do a show for free so long as they made money. And my homegirl put me on because I just went to an event there. Mm. It's called the Open Stage Club in Coral Gables. It's a very, very nice spot. It was chill.
Now, you say they didn't charge you. They didn't charge you at all, or they just didn't charge you up front?
They didn't charge me up front.
Oh, okay. So, at the end, you just cut them at the end, basically, something like that.
No, it's like I said, you know how I said they didn't make the amount that they needed for the first show at the bar, and I owed them money? Mm-hmm. The fact that they were willing to negotiate with me and let me do another show to make that money back. So, in the long run, I ended up paying them nothing, and I did a series of shows there. Mm-hmm. Because they believed in me and they let me to do a couple other backup shows after the first show tanked. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So in a sense, I owed them money, but I never actually paid it to them because they let me make it back.
Yeah, make it back in. Okay.
Through sales and following shows and shit.
That's what's up, man. And how do you say that you establish relationships like that to find people that are willing to work with you like that? Because you don't see opportunities like that too often.
You gotta find people that are willing to trust you.
Yeah.
And the owner of the Open Stage Club, like he saw something in me. Because when we failed that first night and there was no drink or food sales or whatever, like I looked him dead in his eyes, like, yo, I promise you, this is not gonna happen again. I know exactly what I need to do to make this event pop. And he saw that hunger within me. Mm-hmm. So if you make it clear to other people just how motivated, just how dedicated you are to your own cause, they'll support you. And he's been down to do events with me ever since. So it's just. You have to let it be known. You got to make it be felt how much you care about the shit that you're trying to put out.
Word. And what season are you on now for the Flex?
About to start the third season.
Third season?
Yeah.
And you bringing anything new to the table as opposed to like the last two seasons?
Yeah. So I mean, this season we were gonna offer the champion another free recording session, but at my home studio.
Okay.
And also a free custom made beat. Just for whoever wins. So if you win the Flex, you get a free instrumental produced by me and my partner Thomas, and you get to record it at our house. And we were gonna have me and him open up each Flex show with some type of live performance because me and him perform live as well. I got a whole drum machine, and we're nasty. So basically, we're gonna showcase like what you're going to be getting as a prize at the end of the season at every single show. So just trying to give like a little teaser as to what the end of the season might hold. You know what I'm saying? But I think like the formula is gonna stay relatively the same. We got people selling stuff at every show. We got food and drinks, like vendors selling clothes, crystals, items, all that cool stuff.
Okay, we got a couple questions from the audience. Miss AK85 has two questions for you actually. She asked, did you become disillusioned after your first show tanked?
Yeah, that's a wake up call. It's always a wake up call.
Yeah. And then their second question is, how did you hype yourself back up after that disappointment?
Oh shit! I wanted to quit low key. I was like, yo, this shit sucks. Miami's whack. Like, I never want to do this live show shit again. But you just gotta realize, like, honestly, it was my friends. It was my friends that kept me going because they came out and they saw I had some potential. They were like, yo, man, this is really cool. Like, I'll probably tweak some things here and there, but you got a really good thing going. You should keep it going. And all the while, I was like, nigga, you crazy? This shit is whack, yo. What the fuck? But I literally had like 3 or 4 people come up to me that night and be like, yo, man, this is really cool. Maybe you don't believe in what you're doing, but I definitely see some potential in this.
Word.
And I went home and I was like, this is my first shot. You got to dust yourself off and try again. So, even if something sucks the first time, a lot of people quit. That's why a lot of people don't succeed. They just end up quitting. Yeah. Because stuff gets hard and you're like, man, I want to do this shit anyways. Just don't quit. And a lot of times some cool shit's gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? That's really all it is.
Yeah, and you're definitely blessed to have that support system from your parents to your friends. You definitely got people that believe in you, support you.
That's a cheat code.
Yeah, that's the cheat code, having that support, because, when things get rough and you want to quit, If you don't got that support system, it makes it all more easier to just give up and everything like that. So, guys, just like Miss AK85 did, feel free to ask questions as we wrapping up the show. I'm taking any of your last minute questions and everything like that. But for you, however, I did want to bring up, because you said you have a home recording studio. Mm-hmm. So, when did you get that established and everything like that?
Beginning of this year.
Beginning of this year?
Yeah, I moved into the house. Mm-hmm. It was me, my partner in crime, Thomas Caprara. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I met him at the School of Music. He plays keys, guitar, nasty producer, amazing mixing and mastering engineer. He's like an evil genius. Me and him moved in together after knowing each other for like a year. Mm-hmm. Built a studio inside of our house. Fully functioning recording studio, has a recording booth and everything. Mm-hmm. Monitors, speakers, Pro Tools, Logic, FL Studios, every single plug-in program you could imagine. You know what I'm saying? So we're working with a lot of top-notch devices. And we just been booking sessions pretty regularly. We have sessions like once or twice a week. So yeah, if you need affordable studio time in the South Miami area, I live right next to University of Miami. Like it's like right there, about 15 minutes from FIU, 10 minutes from FIU. And we charge people $40 an hour. It's a comprehensive recording session, mixing, mastering, production, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So holla at your boy. I'll probably put like my ad.
Yeah. And at the end of the show, I always make sure people plug themselves in. Want to make sure you throw out all that information and everything like that. So the investment, like what was that investment looking like for you? Of course, it probably was.
Even then, it's dumb expensive.
Yeah,
a recording studio is crazy expensive. Cause I had my own personal recording studio in my house before moving in with him. Real baby amateur setup, and he had his own little personal shit in his house. Mm-hmm. So even with us combining our two little shitty studios, we still needed to shell out like the same amount of money that it cost to buy the stuff already. Mm-hmm. Like rugs, a drum set, more speakers, cables, vibe shit. Mm-hmm. Studios are expensive, bro. It's such an investment. But with all the equipment that we have in there, I don't even. It's in the thousands, easily in the thousands. Like $3 grand worth of stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not giving up my address. I don't know where I live. But people are like, oh, we better hit a lick.
So out of all that stuff that you had to buy comes some sacrifices, of course. So, what are some of the sacrifices you had to make from, to obtain the studio and also to make the flex work out the way you wanted it to work out?
But like every penny I've ever gotten from my job just goes back into music. Mm-hmm. Like outside of with my boys, I spend too much money on weed, but you have to invest in what you believe in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Invest in your craft. So I was broke for a really, really long time because all the money I had would just be spent on speakers or headphones or a new, keyboard or something like that. But eventually it pays off. You need to invest smart. And after you make those investments, you're like, okay, how can I flip this? How can I make money off what I just spent bread on? So that's how we got to where we're at now. And we're just at the bottom of the hill, working our way up to financial stability, doing just what we want to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very ongoing process.
Yeah, and that leads to my next question. I was about to ask, when did you start to see that return on your investment kick in?
Soon after we moved into the new house with the studio.
You had that space that you can constantly bring in people.
Yes, it helps out tremendously. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's a nice little bit of pocket change. It's not enough to support yourself fully because we're not at that level of marketing yet. You know what I'm saying? But it helps a lot, and it definitely helps us to see what we have to do to continue to move in the right direction, and what we do got to do to get customer satisfaction, repeat customers. And, yeah, we're still not where we want to be, but we're definitely like in the beginning stages of getting in that right direction. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. And you guys seeing no extra questions on the feed, I guess I'll wrap up my portion of the questions and everything like that. I guess I got two more questions for you. The first one I'm going to ask is, where do you see yourself going with the Flex in the next 5 years?
So at the end of this third season, I want the Flexival to happen. The Flexival was initially going to happen before the season. Mm-hmm. I decided it wasn't the right time. Right. Didn't want to rush it. You know what I'm saying? A festival will incur within a year. Beyond that, a tour will incur within 2 years. Mm-hmm. At least a mini tour. I want to take the Flex to do something in Broward, maybe something in Palm Beach. Mm-hmm. Just, around the state. Maybe Orlando, perhaps. They do have a pretty popular music scene, but that's neither here nor there. But expect the Flex to get bigger. Expect the venue to change. And expect to see it on the move within the next 5 years, for sure.
And you call it the Flexible?
The Flexible.
Hey.
The festival version of the Flex. Flexible. Write that shit down, man. Am I allowed to curse? I don't curse on the show.
Well, you've been cursing the whole time. It's all good. You're not the first, you're not the last.
You should have told me before I came.
No, it's all good because I curse every once in a while where I slip up too. But like I said, it's all good, bro.
Don't curse kids.
But at the end of the day, again, I appreciate you for joining in. Plug yourself in. Tell us where we could find you at and everything like that. Tell us more about the studio time and everything like that.
All right. 3 pages y'all got to worry about. Just write this down. My page, if you want to find me on my personal ish, Khalil _Bohannon. All right. It's KALIL _BOHANNON. You type that in?
Yeah.
Tight. All right. If you want to find my event known as the Flex Music Competition, TheFlexMia. That's it.
Just one word, right?
Yep. At TheFlexMia.
Yeah. They can't click it anyway. We described this a couple weeks back.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you drop at names in IG Live, you still can't click them.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow the studio page where me and my boy, we'll drop live performance teasers and pictures of us in the sessions, that would be music_MVM. And that stands for Music versus Machine.
Music_MVM?
Yeah.
Gotcha. There you go. You have it, folks. All 3 pages right there in your comment section.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, I ask this question every week, except for last week, y'all. And I was really disappointed when I left on my way back home. I was like, dang, I didn't ask the question. But I ask this question every week, and that's the red pill or the blue pill. So you take the red pill and you go forward 10 years and you have, you go forward 10 years and you have $5 million liquid in your bank account from the moment you wake up. You take the blue pill, you go backwards 10 years, but you know everything that you know now. Which pill are you taking?
Who? Alright, wait, which one lets me wake up with the 5 million?
The red pill.
How can people pick that one?
Yo, at first it started out blue pill, then it was red pill. I say it's 50-50 at this point. This is the 42nd episode.
Right, it's just because there's no guarantee, even with the knowledge that I know now, that I can flip that into $5 million. There's a lot of moves that have to be made. Yeah. I'm going to invest in Bitcoin, that's for damn sure. Damn.
You're definitely the only person who thought this hard on it.
Red pill.
Red pill?
Yeah.
I need the $5 million?
Yeah, I need that $5 million. Okay. It's just because, I'm going to be skipping, my late 20s and my early 30s, and I know some pivotal shit's gonna be happening during that time. That's why I'm
that's a hard decision.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Nobody want to skip the youth. What are you going to be 30 in the next 10 years?
I'll be 34.
Yeah, so
that's a lot of memories.
Yeah, that's a lot of memories, but still, 34 and you're a millionaire.
I can make a lot more memories. We got time with $5 million. We can make something happen, man.
Yeah, definitely, shit.
Wait, which one would you pick?
I see. My perspective has changed because I've heard so many of your guys' perspectives as guests being on the show. I started out, saying I would go with the blue pill for the fact that, I could, not make the mistakes that I've made. But then someone put the perspective on me, hey, those mistakes are what made you to what you are now. You feel me? So then I was like, damn, dog, want to go back and not make mistakes that made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So sometimes I say so I feel like it just depends on how it varies. Yeah, it varies. Even still, I can't say the red pill or the blue pill. It's a trick question. It's a question that just end off the show. Nice, fun question. But nonetheless, I appreciate you for joining us tonight and being on the show and sharing us your experiences of being an event coordinator, musician, and everything like that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to Talented Tuesdays. Shout out to Miss AK85, My Little Page, Lonnie Boo, some of the regulars on the show. Just want to show my love right there. Love you guys. But again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Kai Speaks, aka Mr. 205 to 305. We out.
Mr. K on drums. And last but not least, we've got rounding it out. My man Gabriel Cody.